How can you tell if someone is intelligent? Initially, we'd think it's the person who claims to be so. Ironically, the less intelligent are more inclined to loudly and boastfully proclaim their perceived intelligence, which is usually overestimated, while the truly intelligent trend towards acting and believing they're no smarter than the next person. That's right. This is not a fake it till you make it applicable scenario. One of the factors that makes intelligence difficult to measure is that the true intelligence isn't simply a test result. Even IQ scores were not very well regarded by some irrefutable geniuses, like the late Stephen Hawking, who gave a less than complimentary assessment of those who boast about IQ scores. So we've collected a few non-test score traits that could reveal the brilliance within you. Number 1, open-mindedness and curiosity. Socrates, a historically intelligent person, said, "I know that I know nothing." This simply is a statement that reminds us that we do not and cannot know everything there is to know. There is always something to learn, and open-minded people relish in that. These lifelong learners don't fear and shut out unfamiliar concepts. Rather, they explore them, intrigued by the new knowledge that could be gained. They want to understand something in depth before forming an opinion, rather than making a snap judgment. Number 2, an ability to acknowledge fault. Part of intelligence is knowing more. If you have a person who insists that they're always right, they're cutting off any possibility of receiving new knowledge. As intelligent people don't tie their self-worth to a reputation or a created persona, being wrong doesn't shatter them, but opens up an opportunity to expand their well of knowledge. They also don't feel shame or inferior when apologizing, because they understand that even if a mistake was made, they don't become less valuable as a person. By admitting fault, they're signaling that they are ready to improve themselves by learning how to be less wrong. Number 3, a strong self-identity. Know thyself? Intelligent people do. Does this mean that they override and force others to the my way or the highway method? No, they do not. They simply know who they are and will do things their way despite any peer pressure or TikTok trend that might be telling them otherwise. Tapped into their own psyche, they are more self-aware than most. This means that they not only know, but accept all sides of themselves, good, bad, and in between. This knowledge allows them to give their best to others and work on their weaknesses without collapsing. Number 4, being witty and sarcastic. To a point, of course. The stats don't lie, and they say that humor and intelligence go hand in hand. A recent study in Austria found just such a correlation and argued that to get the joke and to tell one, it requires both cognitive smarts and emotional ability. You know how the success of comedy is timing? Well, intelligent people have been found to have higher verbal and nonverbal intelligence, so they've got delivery on lock. Number 5, being sensitive to other people's feelings. IQ gets all the recognition, but EQ, the emotional quotient, is just as important. Having a solid, well-developed EQ allows you to be less overwhelmed, so you have the capacity and willingness to understand those around you. It means being able to have compassion for others and look through their eyes. This also means you could realize you messed up, not them. However, because you're good with yourself, you have the wherewithal to learn from and improve the situation. Having a high IQ alone, having all the knowledge and facts but no heart or perspective, can be an isolating trait. As they say, no man is an island, and the smart thing to do is to be able to connect with others, at least a little. Number 6, taking power naps. Aha, so that time in kindergarten was well spent after all. Don't believe us? Then believe Patrick Jane from the show The Mentalist. He's a modern-day Sherlock and resident smartest person in the room, who solved nigh impossible mysteries weekly. He also made time to nap and recharge that precious brain. No, we aren't claiming the value of power naps based solely on how it happens on TV. The General Psychiatry Online Journal has findings that afternoon napping was linked to better mental agility, better locational awareness, verbal fluency, and working memory. If only we could implement power naps into workplaces everywhere. Although we can't take impromptu work naps like Mr. Jane, this doesn't negate the fact that these power naps are like nourishing brain snacks, recharging them to take on the world. And number 7, high creativity levels. Creativity. It's not just for artists. It simply means being able to think outside a usual perspective, your own societal expectations, even the one given by a group of friends. So yes, that friend who figured out the rubber chicken and the pulley go together to make a zip line handle is likely pretty intelligent. Creativity lets a person excel at problem solving because they're willing to go beyond their comfort zone. They have ideas and solutions not thought of by anyone else. They can then make their vision a reality using knowledge, good observation skills, and curiosity. With what we've observed and experienced, it's safe to say that simply getting a high score on a paper test is not the full scope of what the concept of intelligence is. It's like an umbrella that covers numerous different aspects, allowing different varieties of intelligence. At the root of it all, knowing who you are and continuously learning while still being a positive force to those around you is the best, truest way to be intelligent. No faking needed. Did you pick up on any of these signs, or do you recognize them in others? Please feel free to comment and discuss. We also feel it would be highly intelligent to give us a like, and we'll see you soon.